Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name is Dalton.
RJ.
Today we're going to be talking about the Alabama versus Mizzou matchup this weekend, Saturday, 11 a.m. at Missouri. Mizzou coming off a bye week, Alabama coming off two of their biggest wins of the season. RJ, what are you seeing in this game? What kind of scares you if you're Alabama, but also what are some pluses for you?
What would scare me with if I'm Alabama is their running game because Missouri is going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Missouri's going to beat you by passing, but running wise, they'll beat you. And some benefits for Alabama is my offense is hot, so that's going to help me out in this game. That's one of my keys for Alabama's offense.
So Alabama's off to a pretty good hot run right now, one of the hottest teams in college football. But Missouri, on the other hand, is the number one rushing offense in the nation. They're really good on defense. Their front seven can compete with any defense in the country. They have a kid that's from Georgia that he would be starting for Georgia right now. They have a couple transfers that fill out that role. These guys are the real deal, and there's a reason why they're so good at pass rush. There's a reason why they're top 10 in the nation in pass rush and pressure, which is scary if you're Alabama. Alabama coming on into this game comes off a win over Georgia away, and then another great win over Vandy. And Vandy almost feels like Missouri's kind of counterpart. Like they kind of work in the same ways. They kind of have the same operation going on as far as they both like to run the ball. They both get to third and shorts. They both convert. They both keep your defense on the field for a long time if you let them. I think this game for Alabama is really interesting. We'll talk about the past couple times that these teams have faced. Alabama has won the past 5 in a row. Some interesting injury report things. You have Missouri's starting right tackle, I think is what he is, or one of their starting linemen, Caden Green. He's going to be questionable in a game time decision for them. But as of right now, what do you think the keys to the game for Alabama is to be able to perform on defense against such a good rushing attack that Missouri has?
It's going to start with Alabama's D line to get that run defense going. That's one of the keys for Alabama's defense. Also, the secondary not playing flat-footed and containing a gap also. And I feel like Alabama would do well if they fill in gaps, the secondary filling gaps. Don't get caught flat-footed, and also the D line gets pushed in this game with the defensive line. And
I got 2 things to say, and one of them's going to be about Alabama, one of them's going to be about Missouri. But the key to the game on defense for Alabama, I agree with you 100% on the fact that the DBs have to play fast and have to play strong and have to attack the ball. But also is you saw Vanderbilt shovel pass the ball. You don't think Missouri's going to put that in their playbook? They are. I hate to break it to you. Pavula, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation right now as far as just an all-around do-it-all type of dual-threat guy. This kid's making plays. Hardy, he probably is the best, if not top 5 running backs in the nation currently. He runs the ball strong, and then your backup behind him isn't much, it's not much of a drop-off. So this rushing attack from Missouri is really good. Alabama, like you said, gap containment, gap integrity, stay in there and not letting your eyes deceive you, doing your job, doing your role. You talk about the gashes that Vanderbilt had last week against Alabama, the 2 big run plays, notably the one that was a long run for a touchdown from the running back, and then Diego Pavia's 40, 50-yard run there to get him into the red zone where he eventually ended up fumbling the ball. But those 2 runs were they were created due to lack of gap integrity, 1 or 2 players not doing their job. It wasn't a lack of scheme, right? Now you can say that Kane Womack was maybe making it a little too difficult on whoever it was to be able to get into that spot. But in his interview, in his press conference this week, he said we were in the right stuff to be able to stop this. It was just not. It was an execution problem. You see that a lot, but it's all out college football. But a good news is you lead the college. You lead CFB in turnover margin. Alabama's defense, their whole demeanor is to create turnovers and give your offense back the ball and give you a chance to be able to score. And you didn't see them do that against Florida State. Big reason why we did not come out of there with a win.
Right.
But to stop living in the past, Alabama has a lot of injuries on the defensive line. As far as Quay Russaw, Beeman, I don't know why I can't think of his name. My goodness. Jamarian Latham, he's linebacker. They both kind of flex. Anyways, Quay Russaw, same thing. He kind of flexes in between the two. So you have a depth problem for Alabama, and the fact that some of your main guys have been kind of taken out of the mix. But the good thing about it is you have people in the back that can step up and make plays, and they have throughout these past 2 weeks, which has been great to see.
Right.
Offensive lies, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're Missouri, your goal is to be able to get pressure on Todd Simpson. You saw Georgia try to do the same, but Georgia's pass rush ratings are not as good as Missouri's. Georgia's front seven is really good against the run, but their pass rush hasn't showed up very much this year.
Right.
Besides the couple sacks they get, Chris Carter, etc. But Missouri's whole what you feel like is going to be their plan going into this game is to be able to get pressure on Todd Simpson and force him off the spot and make him hold the ball for too long. Make him make a mistake instead of let him sit in the pocket and throw into zone gaps. You've already seen Drinkwitz come out and say, Missouri's head coach come out and say that Todd Simpson is playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation and is hitting all the right zone gaps that he needs to. And you can't play this Alabama team in man because you have too much speed, too much route running at receiver. There's no way you can.
Right.
Alabama going in this game, where do you think they need to be at the end of the game, stat wise? I'm talking about passing, rushing yards to be able to pull this win out. And do you think it'll be a high scoring game without giving your score prediction?
Well, Bama at least needs, I feel like 100 plus rushing yards to win this game. Like Vandy, like even Georgia. I mean, y'all really didn't run the ball well, but at certain key moments in the game, y'all did, which won y'all the game. The key
Mm-hmm.
for Alabama to win this game is running the ball, and then of course Ty Simpson not forcing the ball to the other team.
No, I agree with that. I think whenever you look at this game, you look at last week's game. Let's go back to Vanderbilt. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like this Missouri team is another Vanderbilt team with just maybe a little bit more depth and maybe a couple more ball players on the defensive side of the ball. Not no hate towards Vandy. Man, they play aggressive, they play strong, really good team. But Missouri coming off a bye, you have these pieces on defense. They could potentially cause some problems, which is where you want Jam Miller. He's gotten better weekly. You got to think this last game was his second game this season. He's only going to get better. This offensive line is starting to grow into their shell a little bit. Run block wise, you saw a lot of. I mean, Vanderbilt just got worn out and couldn't stop it anymore. They couldn't handle it anymore. Towards the end of the game, time of possession for Alabama, keeping your offense on the field, keeping your defense off the field, and controlling the game is going to be huge whenever you go into this hostile environment. Because people say, "Oh, it's Mizzou. The home crowd's not going to be." You're 14th ranked in the country. You're 5-0, and you're about to play the number 8 Alabama Crimson Tide, and you feel like you have a chance to be able to go out and beat them. I promise you, the fans are going to show up. It doesn't matter where you're playing at; they're going to show up. So I think in this game, you have Alabama opening up as a 3.5 point favorite. I think they're at a 3 point favorite now. You've seen a lot of people kind of side with Missouri just because of the fact you don't know if Alabama's going to keep remaining strong and not drop off any. I think Alabama has everything against them right now as far as the narrative. Got an early game. You've just played 2 of your best games of the year. You're going to Mizzou. Mizzou's hot. They're not a bad team. But then again, you look at Mizzou, the best team they've played is South Carolina, who we don't really know how good they are right now. So we really don't have an exact feel of how good this Mizzou team. And this bye week, depending on how you look at it, can either be a great thing because you got fresh or a terrible thing because you got rusty. So I feel like there's a lot of things of how you look at it. But I know I've been talking a lot. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to let you, if you have anything else you want to touch up on, go ahead. If you have any questions you want to ask me, go ahead. If not, if you want to give us your score prediction and your reasoning.
There's not much to touch up on except for our score predictions, but this is going to be a tough game for Alabama going into Mizzou, 11 a.m. kickoff. I mean, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be a dogfight. But I'm gonna go ahead and give my score prediction. I'm gonna go 27-21 Alabama. I feel like Alabama has just Alabama's offense. I mean, I don't care what their defense can stop. Their offense just looks hot, and I feel like they can score with anyone right now, unless they
Mhm.
just unless they just turn into the Florida State game. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they'll go downward from here. I feel like Alabama will go upward. But
Mhm.
I got Bama this game, man. I mean, their offense is just so too hot for me. And then the adjustments that Kane Womack made in the second half versus Vandy, it looked good, man. And I got my money on Alabama in this game, 27-21.
Um, I like that line. I like what you're going with there. I like what you're saying. Um, this is my thing. I think that this Missouri defense, while they are really good, I think Ty Simpson is playing some of his best ball he'll play this year. I think he's getting better week by week. Vandy game, he threw a pick. Yeah, okay. He finally threw a pick as his first of the year. But I think as a player, he's maturing and developing. I think he's noticing things, and I like his accountability. On the other side of this, Drinkwitz, great football coach. He is building that Missouri program. They look good. Prabula, a lot of people say that Penn State should have kept him and let go of Drew Aller and let him go to Missouri. And then the transfer running back Hardy. I mean, you see what he's doing. He has 1,000 yards. He almost has 1,000 yards. One of the two.
730 yards
Yeah,
for the
730
whole
yards,
season.
9 touchdowns. I mean, he's playing ball. So the Alabama rushing attack is going to be the most interesting, or the Alabama rushing defense is going to be the most interesting part whenever we go back and look back at this game. If you tell me how many yards Missouri has on the ground, I can probably tell you the score of the game, right? If I look at the box score and Missouri's got 240 rushing yards, and I'm probably going to tell you, man, it was a long day for the Crimson Tide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think
I feel like it's going to start with LT Overton and then Tim Keenan and the rest for the defensive line on Alabama. I feel like it's
mm,
going to start with them. It's
I
going
feel
to
like
see
this.
it. You go.
I'm sorry.
You
Go
got it.
ahead.
No, you got it.
I agree with you. I was just about to touch up on what you were saying about LT Overton, and tell me what you think. But I think this Alabama linebacking core has gotten better weekly.
I don't know about weekly because they look pretty sus first half against Vandy. They
Mm,
came through second half, but I wouldn't say weekly, but they're they're progressing a little bit
yeah,
each game. I say that
I think you had some
because
missed assignments from
cause,
safeties, is what
yeah,
you're.
because they're still getting caught flat footed a lot on runs, and that's going to hurt them if they get caught flat footed this game. Because
Yeah,
I would hate to tackle for Hardy, man.
yeah, he's running hard. He's running really really hard right now. I
Right.
think Missouri's what you feel like and what you think is Missouri's whole offensive game plan is going to be able to stretch the field, zones, make Alabama's got some guys in the middle that maybe Missouri's offensive line can't necessarily get a good push. But what they can do, and what Georgia and what Vanderbilt did to us, was get to the outside. Get to the outside. Run something to run something to the tackle in between the tackle guard, and cut it to the outside. And that's how Vandy broke a lot of their runs. That's how both of their runs were broken. And Amon Hardy's going to take advantage of that. Kick and run the
Yeah.
ball. I think he's going to be great. All that to be said, I think Missouri's a great team. I think they have all the narrative with them to be able to beat Alabama and upset this and just turn this into a miserable weekend for Alabama fans. But I don't think
Yeah.
they're able to do it. I think Ty Simpson stays hot. I think Jam Miller really comes alive in the run game. And I think you see a great game from Lottie Brooks. I think you're going to have a lot of focus on Jeremy Bernard and what he does. Ryan Williams, you already know what he's going to do. I think Lottie Brooks is a sleeper, and he's got a lot of potential on this Alabama team to become something great over the next couple of years. And I think this is going to be one of his names his games where the people find out who he really is.
Yeah. And
I
what
got the
sucks,
score. What's up?
you no no you no 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 you got it. You got it.
I was going to
Run
say I
game.
got the
Run game.
score at 31-28 Bama.
31 what?
28.
Okay. I thought you said 20. Oh my
No,
God.
no, no. This is going to be this game. Unless, okay, there's two sides to this. Missouri's team isn't what we think they are, and what everybody says about them not playing anybody comes to fruition. Like it becomes true. Um, but there's also the side that hey, Missouri is the real deal. they haven't been putting because you can look at stats all you want to, but stats don't tell you what's going to happen on the field. They just give you a general idea of how the team plays. But whenever you look at Missouri's schedule, you're like, oh well, they haven't played anybody. Even though they played South Carolina, which was one of the preseason like top teams. They've played Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana Monroe, South Carolina, Massachusetts. So they basically have 2 bye weeks in a row. South Carolina, they had a 9-point win over. Kansas, they had a 10-point win over. A lot of people say Kansas is the best team they played this far.
Yeah. Well, these next 2 games for Mizzou is worst times to play at. I mean, they got 11 a.m. versus Bama this coming Saturday. Then the next Saturday, they got 6:30 at Jordan-Hare. So it's gonna be a hard stretch for. I mean, you can say what you want about Auburn, but Auburn's still a good team. They just play calling just needs to get better. But other than that, I mean, Mizzou. Mizzou's a good team to me. Don't sleep on them because they will beat you. But it's gonna be tough for Mizzou this stretch right here.
No doubt. Looking forward to the matchup. Should be great. Should be a fun game to watch. Should be down to the wire unless Mizzou's depth becomes an issue. Alabama looking to hope to remain strong. Ty Simpson, a Heisman hopeful. I think you got a lot of good things going your way. Just got to keep it up. But anyways, this has been the RD podcast. Catch us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. TikTok's got a video kind of popping off right now talking about how Alabama was the best team in the SEC, and we didn't mention Ole Miss. That's my apologies. They were on a bye week. I didn't think anything of them. They are a good team. We don't have to talk about that though. I still believe Alabama's better, and we'll see as the season plays on. But this has been the RD podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.